Good morning, traders. Today is the 24th of May. My name is Neville Hornsey, market analyst with You Trading, and today I'm joined, as always, by
Joel Frank, also market analyst at You Trading.
How you doing?
Man, yeah, I'm all right, Nev. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. I've just, like I said, just taken a quick trade on the Nasdaq.
Very nice.
And let's see how that works out.
Yeah. I mean, very early. Getting started early in the week. Like I remember when I was trading, I didn't usually really trade on Mondays because Monday flow, I just couldn't hack it.
No, I mean, to be honest, like going into my strategy, the sort of morning, as in London morning, I find a little bit easier to trade the Nasdaq because as soon as all the volume comes in, the algos just fire up, obviously, and it's just really tricky then to get on a reversal. You can go with the flow if you can pick a direction and the algos like push along with you, then it's great. But in the mornings, with the software that I use, I can see the sort of liquidity that's been there overnight, and then when it hits that liquidity, then if there's a reversal, I can take it. And the algos aren't really as present, so they don't chop you up. But yeah, hence why I took a US session, a London session trade on the US market.
Yeah, no, good for you, man.
Cool. What are you up to this morning?
I went to the gym this morning, which was good. Early, mate, I love getting an early workout in. It's like it gets you like energized for the day. I find. Yeah. Think better and everything. So, but yeah, man, life's all right. I mean, I think we're just waiting for this summer to arrive. It just is never going to come, apparently.
No, the bank holiday next Monday and the official start of the really hot weather, hopefully, because at the moment, I just got rained on really quickly.
Yeah, I did see something. I didn't actually have time to press on the link and like read about it, but Sky News was reporting that like sun is coming, but just not yet.
I saw the sun, but then I got, like I said, just this big rain cloud just appeared out of nowhere and just dumped on me.
Oh God.
But yeah. Talking of dumps, I'm hoping obviously for some sort of price action. What did you think of last week's fundamentals? Anything sort of stand out as a sort of directional thing?
I mean, it was quite interesting. I mean, we might as well start with the dollar because that's what I'm about to talk about. But it was quite interesting how the dollar reacted to the FOMC minutes, I think, because remember we had that quite sharp appreciation because the minutes kind of revealed a slightly louder sort of hawkish presence, if you know what I mean. Like there's a minority of hawkish people at the FOMC that want to start talking about tapering. Yeah. And they came across as a little bit more loud, was the way that people were saying it, in the minutes than people had expected. But the dollar strength, it did not last very long. So that is, for me, that's quite bearish for the dollar. It kind of shows the mindset that the market is in. People just not ready to buy dollars yet.
Yeah, do you remember when Mark Carney was known as the unreliable boyfriend?
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out what the market's thinking of Fed Chair Powell at the moment because, he's obviously trying to say we're evidence-based and he's trying not to be that unreliable person, which, just flip-flops depending on which way the market goes. But then, so he's kind of resolute on the interest rates not going up until full employment and average 2% or above inflation, isn't he? But just like the fact that he said, no, we're not going to do central bank digital currency. And then, was it last week, he sort of said, oh, we are thinking about doing it really quick, soon. I just wait. I think it felt like the market was like, I think he's going to sort of, like change his mind on this interest rate hike. But obviously the forward guidance came from the other members of the FOMC, like you say. So
yeah. I mean, market's kind of already a bit dubious about their claim because at the moment the median, the dot plot, it basically suggests that there will be no hikes and until their entire forecast, which is 2024. But markets are currently priced. I haven't checked the latest pricing, but it was recently there was a hike. Markets were pricing for a hike in December 2022. Yeah. So it's already a bit like, we know you're going to hike sooner than what you're saying. It's just whether they hike even sooner than that, because inflation is, it's picking up. It's probably, I think headline CPI is probably going to go over 5% in the coming months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think that would do?
For.
Yeah. What do you think that would do to the dollar if that should happen?
Well, it all depends on the Fed's reaction to the data. If they continue to say, the inflation is transitory, we're going to ignore it and we're just going to focus on employment, then that's going to be bearish for the dollar, because obviously the dollar is inflation means the value of the dollar is falling at an accelerated pace. And when inflation goes up, that pushes real interest rates lower. So it's like less of an incentive to hold dollars. So that'll be dollar negative. But if high inflation prompts the Fed to go, we've got this wrong, we're going to start our hiking cycle early, then that will probably be dollar positive. So I think it all just depends on the way the Fed reacts to it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I think the long term, I think we just need to sort of clear some sort of price action stuff as well. And then sort of, at least then the bulls have like collected some liquidity, say from the February 2018 lows. And, and they've got all those orders then to like push on higher. Because at the moment, they just keep running into that $90 level. We're at it again now. Like it's just ticked over to $90 now. And it's holding on to the middle of this range, like so hard. Like it feels like it just needs to clear out the weak hands, I guess, that are here, and then it can go higher. Or, like I say, if they don't change their mind, just let it collapse, because there's quite a lot of room to the downside. Obviously,
certainly could. But mate, if cryptos keep on getting destroyed, then that's actually probably a dollar positive, isn't it?
Yeah, like I was thinking on the way in. Do you remember? I forget like which month it was, but there was a big sort of gold sell-off, a big crypto sell-off, and then it sort of reversed. I mean, this obviously feels like more than just a quick reversal. This feels like a bit more structurally different. But I was thinking, I wonder if how many people are having to get out of liquid assets rather quickly to get, like margin, to cover margin calls and things like that. I think that we've obviously gone through a bit of that, because there's obviously a really steep drop off, but now we're 50% lower on a lot of the sort of liquid markets like cryptocurrencies and stuff, and gold's obviously rising. So I just wondered if there was some sort of margin call, or did you write last week that you thought the move was out of sort of crypto type stuff and into gold? Or
there was, I mean, there is an element of that, because I don't know if you managed to read my article, but one of the things I was saying is, like there's kind of been some competition between gold and crypto assets as to who's the best inflation hedge.
Yeah.
And obviously, fears about inflation have been peaking in recent weeks, and that's benefited gold. As you can see here, you've got it on the 1 week chart, and gold's been plowing higher for like 3 straight weeks now.
Yeah.
Whereas over this same period of time, where there's been all this fears about inflation, crypto assets, like we've just been talking about, have been getting hammered, which kind of undermines that argument of them being a safe haven. You know what I mean?
That's it. I just think where yields, we were just talking about interest rates and yields and things, are so low. Obviously, you move into something like equities and you can get like a good return. You move into something like crypto and you get like an amazing return if you catch it right. But yeah, the whole store of wealth and like a diversification of your portfolio. I think that's obviously quite untrue, because the retail investors who are holding on for dear life, they're
as always.
But they are probably going to hold. They've held since 2012 or whatever.
Well, if they've held since then, oh my God, good for them.
Yeah, but then but the guys,
I wish I had.
The institutions. I was reading one report from one of the banks saying that, maybe JP Morgan actually, saying that institutional flows have actually decreased. They're like they were actually pulling some money out at the top. So it'd be interesting to see if they did induce buying, get that demand to go up to the 60K type of levels, only to sell into it, just to, get their balance sheets up.
Fair enough if they did. I mean, they're within their rights to sort of talk their book, aren't they? I mean, that's all it really is, I guess.
Well, you had like lots of people, talking up stuff. People have been talking up gold forever and ever. Like since QE, they've been saying gold and silver are the only sort of real store of value. They're going to be the things that appreciate. And there's then obviously talk of manipulation, saying why gold's been depressed at these levels for so long and how unfair it is that the banks use the paper versus the physical and crush the price. But then
I don't know if I buy that whole thing though.
No, but that's what you'd say if you're a gold bug or if you're stuck in silver. And then the Bitcoin crypto people are saying, well, this is the new money, this is the new sort of wealth. And then you can just sort of, just taking the other side, if I was able to pump up a market and ride that wave, I would be saying, institutional buyers are coming into the banking system, just to get more and more retail. Oh yeah, at last institutions are coming in, we're going to hold on, we're going to buy more. This is going to 100,000, and then for the institution to go, right, we've just made 30% on our investment. I'm going to take quite a lot off now. That's just the sort of, one way of thinking. And it'd be interesting to see if institutions then still say, we are holding still. But I don't know. We're going to have to see. Yeah. They have gone quiet there. Yeah. But,
I think because just quickly for the people that don't really know the fundamental reasons why cryptos have been selling off, in particular like Bitcoin. There was a thing about China banning banning Chinese companies from offering any services to do with crypto. Obviously, nothing. Obviously, they want to bring in the digital yuan, so they want to crush the competition. So that kind of makes sense for them. And then also Elon Musk, he's put a pause on his investments into Bitcoin because he's finally realized that Bitcoin's not the best for the environment. Do you remember, we were actually talking about that recently.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how one Bitcoin transaction requires the amount of energy to power a modern home for a year.
Yeah, and then someone else online was saying, he's just dumped 1.9 billion or whatever, however many dollars he put into Bitcoin supposedly.
Yeah, probably 5 billion.
It was just surely someone within his investment team would have said, oh, by the way, there's an ESG sort of problem, there's going to be talk of how damaging this is to the environment. But then you got Michael Saylor saying the opposite, saying traditional.
Don't listen to Michael Saylor. He's an absolute. Well, I don't want to be a hater on the podcast, but he's drinking the Kool-Aid, mate. He does it.
Then listening to his argument about gold, there's 2% inflation, because they keep digging gold out of the ground type of thing. He was saying as a fiduciary of, a big investment pot of money, you can't keep it in cash because the cash is going to zero. You can't keep it in gold as such because that's inflation, really it's, less worthy in say 30, 50 years time. And he just thought Bitcoin was the one that would carry the money, that preserve that wealth for longer.
Yeah. But the big thing, the big problem, I'm not against cryptocurrencies. I do think that the underlying technology, blockchain, the ledger and everything it's revolutionary and it's going to change everything. It already has. But I just think the fact that there's a limitless number of different cryptocurrencies you could have. Each can be better than the last as technology progresses and, all this kind of stuff. I just think that, the first major cryptocurrency is going to be the one to rule them all forever is foolish. It's a bit like people often compare it to, when you had MySpace and Bebo and stuff like that. And then obviously new social media came along and sort of.
Yeah, Web 2.0. Yeah.
Web 2.0, exactly. Yeah. These technologies evolve over time. So I think these cryptocurrencies probably have a finite life before something better sort of.
I don't even have to be better. I just think you can't pay your taxes with a Bitcoin at the moment. But if the Fed do their central bank digital currency, and the Chinese have obviously made headway into that. The European and Bank of England said that they were doing it as well. So all the places where you might be able to pay your taxes with a digital currency, that's the way the world's going to probably go, unfortunately. Talking about the world, we should have a look around, say like Europe.
Yeah,
that's
obviously,
obviously
let's talk about some assets.
That's Europe's going a lot higher. Do you think it's going to carry on? And if so, that would mean the dollar index would probably be coming down.
Yeah. I mean, this is just basically the same. It's like an inverse bet on the dollar index, isn't it? Yeah. So I think, just as long as the Fed holds the dovish line, ignores inflation, all that kind of stuff, then this is probably going to keep going higher.
Yeah. And with a weaker dollar, obviously commodities like oil should go higher.
I think so.
I haven't seen any sort of, gasoline sort of demand really high in the US. We haven't heard any news of increased supplies like at the beginning of June as of yet. So maybe they will, but not yet.
Oh, what you mean Iran?
Or just Iran, or OPEC Plus were obviously going to start thinking about increasing, but obviously waiting for India and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, with like the sell-off last week, we had a bit of a red candle, didn't we, in crude oil? But it doesn't seem to have left a meaningful mark on the uptrend. I don't think, anyway.
No, it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly about Iranian crude. Obviously, some of the sell-offs in crypto and stocks and stuff didn't really help. But I think OPEC will kind of, like if Iran's, which is an OPEC member, is increasing output, other OPEC countries know that they're going to have to offset that a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, like you say, you're just talking about the other markets like India and stuff. Eventually, they're going to come back. The demand there is going to come back. And also, like you say, the demand in the US and here in the UK and in Europe is strong and getting stronger. So
yeah,
the path of least resistance is to keep going higher for me, for crude.
Anything else that you want to look at that I haven't got up?
What else we talked about? Maybe S&P 500. Where's that at the minute? What are you thinking with that?
Well, I am in two minds, to be honest.
Yeah. Why?
Well, because last week I was saying the week before last I was saying was a weekly hanging man, which I thought was bearish. Last week was inside week, of that range, and a similar sort of slight price structure where we came down and they've rejected the lows, 4,000. I'll say the lows, the low 4,000s rather than the 4,100s. I don't like being short the stocks. And I thought if we could take out the week before's low, then that would maybe, bring us down to 3,500 maybe into the bottom of this stuff. But I think it goes up now. I think they've tested and lower prices got rejected, and it just grinds slowly.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think just given the experience of the last 12 months, it's just the dip buying always seems to win out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, what are the big risks to stocks? Obviously, we are quite elevated, so a bit of a pullback just based on profit taking and high valuations.
Yeah.
I mean, if inflation does go really, really crazy, and then the Fed really, gets scared and brings massively forward the tightening cycle, that might be worth 5 or 10%.
I mean,
other than that, I don't really know what would send us lower.
If the monthly candle closes here in the red, then maybe we get a month of down. That's what's happened previously. We've had, every red candle seems to have like something else next to it, which looks a little bit bearish or just less price action.
Man, it's so crazy looking how far we've come since that sell-off last March.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
mad,
astronomical. So parabolic moves to the upside until proven otherwise. We'd have to take out May's low, and like I said, I can't think of anything in the future other than maybe August when we have the debt ceiling talk for the Senate. That might spook some people.
Yeah.
War, obviously, Israel and Gaza, that's calmed down, thankfully. No Iranian involvement necessarily.
And if they're going towards the deal with Iran, then that's going to cool temperatures anyway. So
it's just, it looks like it's going up. I'd imagine there's a 20, a 50, and a 200 looking very positive, like on the EMAs. So
I mean, the thing is now, it almost like we need to get it in a log chart because it's going exponentially, really, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I think keep buying the dip and maybe on a 4-hourly chart, wait for some structure. So we've broken out. As long as this area here around 4,100 to 4,200 holds, then we test higher. It's just like. What I was going to say, you just, I'm not going to say it's only on short list yet. There.
Fair enough.
Markets are solid.
Yeah, they're holding on.
All right, well, maybe we'll catch up next week and be proven completely wrong.
Maybe. If we are, then that'll be, we'll have something to talk about then, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll probably be something interesting that happens. So, I'm always, it's always good to be proven wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope for US dollar index 87 or something. Then that
would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be a move. So something to talk about. All right, I'll catch you next week. Have a great one.
Nice one, mate. You as well.
Take care.